And while we're in the house, I will show you the first piece of my office, which is a really interesting desk that I will also turn into a custom build, because why not? And now let's go get the desk.
Wait a minute!
So apparently my kit is missing something, and it's the important part, the feet. So I guess I'll see you when they come.
3 weeks later.
The feet are right here now. I had to wait for them to send a couple of spare parts, but we got them. So we can proceed. Right before I realized I was missing the feet, I was actually looking for the instructions, but there's no instructions because they are digital. So I have to scan the QR code and get them on my phone. So we are now on the manual page, which works for both platform 4 and platform 6, as you can see on this first image. We got the parts list, the desk surface of course, T-channel rail, because this desk is based off T-channel rails, which makes it very modular and expandable. The feet, the legs, which in my kit are motorized, so it can be raised. The brackets, which I'm not really sure what they are for, but we'll figure it out. The wire management tray, which has the pegboard pattern. Right and left corner supports, and a bunch of other parts that we will figure out how to use and where to put. So here we are finally at the assembly. I'm quite impatient because I've been waiting like a month for this feet. So I just want to get this done and start the project. Let's go. Of course, forgot to charge my camera, so I'm on the phone for a bit. I finished securing that leg, and now we have to secure that one. Now the feet, let's make sure they are on the right side. So with the long part facing the front. Tighten those baby down. Let's install the wire management tray now. And for this, we're going to need these brackets, like so, with the N6 bolts. It's nice that they give you the little bags for each step, so you know that you're going to need this specific bag for the step 2. It's pretty nice. Actual management tray, this way, I guess. And then a couple of bolts for this side. Then we need to secure the controller for the height adjustment on either side, because you can mount it either there or there. I think I'm going for this side. Then a couple of clips for the cables, one here. Not the easiest fit, but nothing that a bit of brute force can fix. Now we can proceed to plug everything in. So this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, and the power cable. There we go. And then you can use the little clips to tie them up. And now we get to flip the desk onto its feet. From here we can flip it. There we go. Exciting. Let's move it in place. Now let's install the cubby module, like so. This is supposed to go in. Oh well, I'll fix that later. And this is the cover. Looking nice. Now let's get to the interesting part. The T-channel rail. Now the corners are assembled. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't have to assemble both yet. So let's remove this and let's do this instead. Okay, now with this little key we can tighten this up. And now we can take a look at the monitor arm. So here we have the arm itself. Careful. This I think is the mounting bracket for the T-channel rail. This is another piece of the arm, the VESA mount, and mounting hardware. Let's go ahead and install it. And once this is done, you have a nice grab nut here that you can loosen up and move the stand where you want. That's pretty nice. I think now, before I touch the monitor, we want to take a look at the multi-frame pegboard, because I think it will be easier to install it now than later with the monitor on. Oh god, right when I thought I was almost done. So what do we got here? So I looked up the manual, and you don't actually need all these parts if you have a platform desk, because you already have this kind of assembly. That's basically the assembly you need. If you need to use the standard desk mounts, this will work with any kind of desk or table, which is nice, but we're not gonna need this now. What we're gonna do instead is use these profiles, pop those covers and slide them in. So now we need to tackle the top rail. This goes like this. Hold up. And we can tighten this up. We got corner covers. Alright, now for the main attraction, it's pegboard time. Just need to hook them up like that and then secure them. One last thing, the shelves. The shelves can be used like for speakers and for Funko Pops. Let's insert some nuts. Then we can set the height. Next day, let's assemble the monitor. Remember to protect your monitor. So this is an old Yamaha ultra-wide monitor that I've had for a few years. I would very much like to upgrade, but money. They cost too much money, these monitors. Aside from all the parts that I assembled, the desk and the pegboard kits come with other accessories as well, like this bigger shelf that can be put wherever you want, these two cubbies for like general storage, and a bunch of cable management rails that you can just attach to the T-channel rails and tighten up the cables with these velcro ties, which is pretty nice. You also have these rail covers that you can use to close all the little T-channels, as well as cover some cables that you might want to run along the T-channels. Last but not least, a bunch of pegboard hooks like these. So single ones, multi-hooks ones. There's really all kinds of hooks included, which is very nice. I'm not gonna use any of these for now, but since it's gonna be quite a complex project, I'm sure I'm gonna need some of this stuff later on. Here it is with my Logitech Embody chair and my MacBook. Of course, this is not the final setup. Final setup will feature the Pegboard open source mounts for the hardware. So I will make a PC embedded in the Pegboard. So this cable setup, of course, is very temporary because I need an extension to run along the walls, make it end up there. Then I can run a cable channel to there and have the loose cable come up so that I can raise the desk. The back is not really made to be visible, I think, because this doesn't look very good. But as I'm using this desk setup as a centerpiece, I will find ways to make it more appealing to the eye. But also, one particular thing that I want to do is mount a TV on the back, because when I'm done working there, I have the TV here and I can just sit back, watch some TV, play some games, all in one setup. Nice. Now, of course, this is not a standard function, so that will require some modding, of course. We will see how and where to attach the TV. We will have to be mindful of weight, load, and all that stuff. So I'm still not 100% sure this can be done, but I think so, because TVs nowadays are not really that heavy, and I also won't be putting like a 70-inch TV back there. I'll probably aim for 43 to 50, but it should be fun. And it's been a few days now. I was waiting for the TV to arrive. I went with a Samsung QLED Q60D TV because it was the slimmest one I could find, aside from OLED stuff, but that was out of my budget. And I wanted it to be slim because it will be very visible, so it will be nice to have something slim. As you can see, I've already mocked up this generic TV mount. It's a low profile one, so the TV won't stick out a lot from the desk. And I really didn't do much to mount this here. I just found some useful holes on the pegboard thing here, and then I ran a couple screws into the tabletop to kind of secure it in place. It's not really a final solution, it's just I don't have any tools with me yet because I still have to move the workshop. But for now I really want to get this thing working and set up so I can just move on with the project. I already installed the TV mount brackets behind the TV, so I just have to hang it up. So why did I take this down? But I kinda want to do it properly, and this is not it. So I got some white melamine panels, and I'm going to use these to make these mounting points. But first, let's take down this thing. Another thing I want to do is replace this little profile. It doesn't really make sense to me that it ends up here and doesn't go all the way, because there's also holes here, so I don't understand why they made it so short. And while I was at it, I cut 2 of these so I can make sort of a T profile and put some LEDs that shoot downwards and kind of create a backlight effect for the TV. Looking much better already. And here we have it. Wasn't really able to record the process because it was a very janky one. This is what it looks like. So to give you a little bit more context, as I said before, I used 2 L profiles, one up and one down, with the original mounting points of the pegboard. Again, this was the original one that went like that. And then I put a little LED strip here. This is the type of LED that they use for like car ambient lighting. So it's very thin and it points down. So this was perfect for this application. The kit also came with a shorter strip that I conveniently put here, which is a nice touch, I think. And it all connects to the TV via USB. So when I turn on the TV, the lights turn on. Another thing that I 3D printed is a couple of these brackets, which you can see there, mounted like that with a couple of threaded inserts. So I can mount this panel to cover all of those screws and holes. So this is before and after. I want to cover those screws because they're not the best. You may notice that I left some clearance here, and that's for the monitor arm. This way I can just move it around normally. You may have noticed that I moved this and I turned it around because this brace was actually at the back, but it protruded and I couldn't mount this panel. So by just simply doing this, I created the clearance for that. The only drawback is that I lose a bit of depth, so I can't place the monitor as far back as I could normally, but that's fine. Oh, as you may have noticed, the desk extensions also arrived. They were very easy to install. Just use the T-channel rails underneath the desktop and added 30 centimeters on each side for a total of 180 centimeters. That's a lot of space. So during the video, you may have seen that furniture started to come in, and we did all my nerdy stuff, my collections, my Legos, my consoles, my figures, everything. One piece that is also important for the protagonist of this video, so the desk and the mod to place the TV at the back, is my life-size Lancer from Gears of War, which was placed on the pegboard on top of the TV, which makes for a really cool look, if you ask me. Of course, this is not a final result because I'm still waiting for all the parts to begin the pegboard build, which we're going to see in the next episode of this desk setup. And once that's done, we're also going to take care of some of the cable management, like the cables from the Nintendo Switch and PS5, which are placed on the shelves, as well as the speakers, which are not connected yet. I just propped them up for now. Once I have the CNC up and running in the new workshop, I will come up with some solution to cover all the screws that I use to mount the custom parts on this desk. CNC that we're likely going to see in the next video, because the next video will be the second episode of the new workshop. I already started moving some of the stuff from my old workshop to here, so I'm almost ready to resume the works on that. Next time you'll see this office room, we're going to be tackling the custom build, which will be placed on top of the front side of the pegboard, which is currently empty, using the open source designs that Corsair provides to mount the hardware on the pegboard itself. Of course, on top of that, I will also be making my own custom parts to make this look very unique. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to follow my modding journey. See you in the next one.